Hey everybody, this is Jane. I know it hasn't been that long since my last video. Whoa! I got an opportunity to film another video this evening. It is 8:30 and the flush tube itchy nose just came by. But yeah, I got an opportunity to film another video this evening. Sorry about the light, the glare. Still have my window over here. And the sun is shining now. We have had a little bit of sun, a lot of clouds, rain and hail. So I would actually just like some sun and some heat now, but hopefully it will come soon. Today I want to share an update on my stitching. I have an FO to share with you. I actually finished my oldest whip. Almost 20 years old. I think this maybe August or September it would have turned 20. So yeah, about time for a finish on that one. And at the end I just want to share a little bit of haul, again thrift store haul. So if you're not interested in that, just feel free to click off. But let's start out with the stitching. So in my last video I showed you the 2017 band sampler from Linen and Threads that I was working on the July band, and I have finished that one. Let me just get this piece of cardboard over here. So I finished the July band. Yep. And pulled it off the Q-snap in order to put the queen back in there. I'd say this band took maybe about a week or something, just under a week maybe. Oh, let me see, I actually have it written down in here. Oh yeah, project bag I just made myself using Vanna's tutorial, except I believe she rounded off these corners and she used the Velcro to close it. I put in a piece of elastic and a button. So let's see, right here. I started it on April 18th and I finished it on April 25th. So about a week. So yeah, that's that one. And as I said, it's the Linen and Threads Mystery Sampler from 2017. I am stitching it on a piece of 40 count something, thrift store find, using some DMC thread that is, to my knowledge, no longer produced, another thrift store find. So yeah, that's that. I'm sorry I can't tell you more about the the thread or the fabric. That's the way it is with thrift store finds, right? So, as I told you, I put the queen back on the Q-snap. Another one of my project bags with the elastic and the button. And stupid, you know. So this is page 4, and yesterday evening I completed the first color on page 4, and I really wanted to start the next color. I just got it anchored in here. It's just another shade of brown. But then my Stitchy light decided that it wanted to be recharged, so had to put it away for the evening. So I'm going to stitch on this tonight. Whoops. Losing tension on the fabric. That's my phone, I have it right here beside me. Just got an email. If you could hear that buzzing and beeping. So that's the queen, and she is, she is stitched on 28 count linen. With the called for DMC flosses. And I have all the colors much sooner than I anticipated, thanks to my best friend Sarah Lee. Thank you, Sarah Lee. So yeah, I actually think I'm making pretty good progress on this one. But I have to use the stitch light because I am stitching this 1/1 on the 28 count full cross. So it's hard for me in the evening with just the normal lighting to see the holes and stuff. So when I couldn't stitch on this one, I pulled out my oldest whip. Now I have been working on this one for the past almost a week, I think. And if you have watched all my videos, I showed you this one in my first video about, or where I included my cross stitching. The first videos on my channel are more about paper crafting, because I am a paper crafter as well. Not as much lately, because cross stitch kind of took over my crafty life, along with knitting, crocheting. Oh, that reminds me, I forgot a crochet project, but I'll show that to you in my next video. But my first video where I include my cross stitch, it's about 2 years old or something like that. The video, not the cross stitch. I told you in the beginning that the cross stitch is almost 20 years old. But I showed it to you, and all I actually needed to do and have been needing to do for at least 2 years, probably more, but at least 2 years, was to chart out the names and the birth year and stitch it on here. It's 31 names, in my case 32. I'll explain that when I show you the piece. And what I decided to do was to just put in their first name and the year they were born. And a few of them, I don't even have the year they were born in, because I couldn't get that information. So without further ado and no more rambling, I am just going to show this piece to you. So let me see. So it's a family tree, and I hope you can see that okay. It's a family tree that I am doing for my daughter, and the pattern was in a magazine, not a cross-stitch magazine, one of those, I don't know what you call them, tabloid magazines or something. There's a lot about, famous people, royal people, stories from the everyday, if something exciting has happened, or the readers can write their story, and sometimes that will get printed, and just stuff like that. And then there are some knitting patterns, crochet patterns, sometimes cross stitch. Mostly knitting. I would say, for what I remember. I haven't looked in one of those magazines for a long time. But on the same year my daughter was born, she is a May baby, and I believe in July or August the same year, our queen had her first grandbaby. It was a boy. So this pattern was designed by, and I don't remember the name, and I didn't bring the pattern in here. If you want to know, let me know and I'll tell you in my next video, or maybe if you write a comment asking me about it, I can tell you. But I don't think that you can get this pattern. I believe it was exclusive for that magazine. And it is, as I said, almost 20 years old, so I'm not sure. But I thought, hey, my daughter needs a royal family tree. Maybe not a lot of royals on it, but she's my princess, right? So her father and I decided that I was going to stitch this for her, and it was actually him who went out to get all the materials. I went with him. I went with him to get a piece of the linen. It's stitched on 28 count linen, 2/2 with DMC and metallic. Oh my god, was that a pain in the behind. All the frames here with the names. Let me see if I can. Yeah, all the frames around the names are in gold metallic. There is on the outside two rows of border, and then a row right there, and the corner decorations, motifs, whatever. I done in that metallic, and 20 years ago I wasn't an experienced stitcher, and I'm still not regarding to the metallic threads. But hey, it is what it is, right? Did my best. So on top here it says stamtræ. That's family tree in Danish. And then starting from the bottom, right there in the tree trunk, is my daughter's name. And then on this side of the tree is her father's name and his family, and on here is my name and my family. And it goes up to, let's see if I can, this is kind of a big piece. There. So my daughter, me, my parents, my grandparents, and is it great-grandparents? So for her it would be her parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, and great-great-grandparents, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. And over here, let me fold this up. Try to, right over here, right in here between the branches, I have another name and birth year. So my side, me, my mom, and my dad. And on the same line as my mom and my dad, there's this third name. Now, as I said, 31 names in my case, 32 names. I believe I have shared on here that I actually have lost both of my parents. My daughter never got to meet my dad, but she did get to meet my mom. But my mom passed away when she was 1.5 years. So she don't remember her. Now the third name, the name I put in over here, she's actually not a blood relative of ours, but she has always been there. It is my mom's best friend from when they started school. And they have been best friends ever since, I believe. And she has always been there, always been in my life as a second mother. Not that she had anything to do with my father in that way. She was friends with my father, yes, but they didn't have anything going on, you know, couple-wise or romantic or whatever. But she has been there always as my second mother. So when my mother passed, she kind of, how to explain this? She didn't become my mother per se, but she kind of did, in a way. The things that I was using my mom for, you know, questions and being a mom, not a new mom, of course my daughter was 1.5 years, but still a first time mom. I had some questions. I didn't have my mom to ask, so I would ask my second mom. And she just naturally, you know, took the role as my daughter's grandma. And my mom had actually teased her about it one time, because she had called my mom an old granny or something like that. And then my mom responded with, hey, what does an old, second granny or replacement granny or something like that. I don't know the exact word in English. But they were teasing, she was teasing her about, hey, you're an old granny as well as I am, because, she's almost your granddaughter as well. So when my mom died, she actually just naturally took over that part of being my daughter's grandma. And my daughter is actually calling her grandma. And in the beginning, we called her Grandma Birte. Birte is her name, so we called her Grandma Birte. But it just turned into Grandma because that was just easier, I think. She does know that she has another grandma and that Birte isn't her blood-related grandma, but it's the grandma that she knows. So I thought that I would put her in there as well as my mom, since this is for my daughter and she don't remember my mother. And I'm actually still having a great connection with my mom's best friend, or my second mom, and my daughter is as well. We are not seeing her as often as I would like to. She moved to another town, and with life going on and stuff like that, you don't get to go see her as often as I would like to, but we still talk on the phone and text message and stuff like that, and sometimes we meet up. So yeah. But my Finnish, my oldest whip, and I'm actually pretty proud. Words are hard today. I was at work at a new children's daycare center. I work as a temp, and I was at a new place today. So lots of new faces and things. So yeah, a bit tired. But I'm pretty proud of this one. I think it turned out super great. So now all I have to do is go find a frame, maybe give it a light wash. Although I'm actually surprised that it's not more dirty than it is, for being 20 years almost. But it has been, folded up and put in a plastic bag, so it hasn't been just laying around. But I do think it needs just a mild cleaning. Find a thrift store frame, if I can, and get it framed. Hopefully before we are going to celebrate my daughter. I have almost 2 weeks to FFO it. So, and here comes the cat. Maybe he's jumping up here. Hope not. So yeah, and I will either take a picture or see if I can make a video before I give it to her. Cat's tail waving, he's looking out the window. Don't know if there's any birds out there today. So, but that was actually it for... Oh, I forgot to mention the family tree. I am going to enter into Gerald Stitcher's large project finish competition. So, and that was actually, that competition was actually part of what made me go back and say, okay, you need to finish this now. You know, it gave me the motivation. And I think what held me off was that I had to charge all the names and the years. I think that is what has held me up. Not that everything, all the names and stuff was done in backstitching, because I don't mind backstitching. Gider du enten at blive op eller nede, miss? Tak. But the part about charging all the names and all the years, yeah. But he kind of inspired me to do it, so that's great. And if you haven't watched Gerald Stitcher, head on over to his channel. Let me see if I can. So this is, if you can see it, maybe not, maybe not, probably not. But the red one down here is his video where he explains about the large project Finnish competition 2019, and that's the title of the video, where he explains, you know, the rules and the thing. He is working on Henry VIII, a hate project, a huge hate project, beautiful project. Another reason to head over and watch him if you don't already. But he is almost done, Henry. So he made this competition, you know, if you finish a large project before he finished Henry VIII, you can enter to the competition, and he explains everything in the video. So just head on over and watch that. It is, can you see it? Can I maybe get it? Can you maybe now? Gerald Stitcher on YouTube. Amazing cross stitcher, and he actually just last year was taught how to knit by Caroline from Off the Grid's Needle Art, I believe her channel is. She put out a bunch of learn how to knit videos for Ginger Gerald and anyone else who wanted to learn to knit. So he has been knitting dishcloths, hat, gloves, a bunch of socks, I believe, and at least one sweater. And I think he's working on a sweater vest at the moment, if I remember correctly. And he's cross-stitching, and he's diamond painting, and he shows all of those things in his videos. So head on over and watch him if you don't already. I actually think that was it for the stitchy part of this video. Now I will go on to the haul part. So if you're not into haul, that's fine. I don't mind if you turn it off now. I will just say goodbye and see you next time. Now on the other hand, if you do like haul, stay and watch. It is thrift store finds, and it is from two different times. I showed you in my last video some haul I got from a commission place, kind of like a thrift store meets flea market thing, commission thing. And I actually went back a few days later and I found this kit. It's to make gift tags, and it has the fabric, and it has the floss, and it has the little cards to mount the pieces on, and 3 designs maybe. I haven't opened it, so yeah, I think the 3 designs that are on the front page or the front picture. So I got that. I got, sorry for the crinkling, I got some DMC pearl cotton. She had made up bags with 8 pearl cottons in for less than $2. And pearl cotton is pretty expensive. So I grabbed this one. It has 4 grays, I don't know, in 2 different shades I think. Then it has a teal and a yellow and a couple of different greens. I picked up this one. It has a couple of gray green over here, a couple of purples, and they turn out or look blue, at least to me, but they are purple, variegated, light to dark. Another one of the yellow, a green. I actually think I have another one in that other bag of this one, and a couple of different grays. So I'm going to use some of those in the Hardanger thing, the magazine that I showed you I found. Then I found a piece of light yellow fabric, and it is 100 by 140 centimeters. I'm not sure what that is in inches. I don't know what kind of fabric, I don't know what count, I don't know actually hardly anything except the size and the color. But it looks, I don't know if I can get it up where you can see it. It looks like this. So I thought I can see the holes I can stitch on this. And that piece was maybe $2.50 or something. And it's a huge piece. And again, sorry for the crinkling. Or sorry, not sorry. Then I found a big round tablecloth. Not that I have a round table or anything to use it on, but let me see if I can maybe show you. No, you can't see it. It looks like an even weave fabric. Again, I can see the holes, I can stitch on it. That was that thing. It is 180 centimeters in diameter. So a huge piece of fabric, and I can just cut it into pieces. It is I believe it's 100% cotton. 100% cotton, thread, tablecloth, easy care. It just says on the tag. And I would say maybe a 28 count or a 32, 28, 25. I'm not good at that. And I don't have my ruler, and I haven't checked it. Oh, sorry, my foot is itchy. But this one cost me less than $2. And the color is actually pretty accurate back here. So I found that one. And I thought this video would be a short one, but okay. Rabbit trails and rambling and all that good stuff. I don't know exactly. It might be snaps on there. It might be a French produced maybe, I don't know. But the it's Nidell, if anyone knows that company. So I was thinking, well, it has holes, I can stitch on it, right? So that was what I found that time. Then I went back Tuesday last week to apply for a job, actually. And I thought, well, I am here, I will just take a look around, you know. So I found this ball of white crochet cotton wrap. I haven't opened it. Yeah, it's cotton, and it is Cantoni Coach, I don't know. But it's a number 8. Let me see. And it's for knitting needles or crochet needle at 1.25 millimeters is the recommended hook to use with it. So I'll find something to crochet out of that. It was just a bit over $1. And then I found 2 kits. They are the same kits. It has the pattern for the flower, the window with the cacti up here, and a big, I don't know, some sort of a flower, and some ornaments up here. As you can see, it has the cutout window thingy to mount it on. It has needle, it has the blouse, it has the fabric. So one is for me and one is for a gift. And I paid less than $1 a piece. So I wish they had had one of those with the cats, but they didn't. So, oh well. flowers as well. So that was it for the haul, except I bought some old books about my region, Northern Jutland and Aalborg. So I bought 4 books. I only have 3 of them here. The last one was with some architecture that was used way back when, and my son-in-law has that book to look at. I thought it would, or it might interest him, because he is actually studying to become an architect. And well, I don't think that he is going to build houses. I think it's another kind of architect thing. But what do I know? But I thought he might be interested. And I actually thought I'd just, flip through it, and it actually had a lot of good pictures from houses. And actually some of the houses that are in that book are still standing in our city center. So that was kind of interesting. And I think it will be interesting to read those books about my region, my part of the country. So yeah, I actually think that was it for this time, because I forgot that crochet thing, and I can't pause my tablet to run and get it, and I don't edit my videos, and I don't know how to put 2 videos together and all of that good stuff. So you will have to wait until next time. I have done a little bit of knitting, not a whole lot, so not much progress there. Maybe next time. Still working on the blue shawl, and still working on that colored shawl. I think I called it the peacock shawl. No, the unicorn shawl. Still working on those 2, and I'm crocheting a 3rd one. So yeah, so that's it for this time. We're at almost 45 minutes, and I thought it would be 15, maybe 20 minutes, but you know me, I get on here and I ramble. I think I will go stitch now on the queen. My stitchy light has been recharged, so it should give me enough light. I can see the light is changing in here. The sun is moving over, and the cat was moving up on the table. The sun is moving over here behind the building more and more, so yeah, that's it. Until next time, who knows when that will be. Hope you have a great time. Hope you get some crafting in, whether it's stitching, knitting, crocheting, paper crafting, diamond painting, whatever. Hope you get time to do all the things, and that you are all well and stay that way. Yeah. Have a great week, and I will see you next time. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. I appreciate everything. I appreciate all of you. And until next time. Bye.